up, YouTube? You're tuning in to the Don Johnson News and Opinion Show, where I make comments on bullcrap stories that have mixed feelings when common sense doesn't seem to be a factor. I guess a few days ago there was a gorilla that wanted to play with a little kid that snuck away from his mother when she wasn't looking, or I don't know if she had other kids or not. The news stories haven't really mentioned that I've been hearing. Anyways, this kid wound up in Gorilla Enclosure. He climbed over like a 3-foot fence or fell into the Gorilla Enclosure, and I guess a big old 17-year-old male gorilla wanted to play with this 3-year-old, and the gorilla wasn't really doing nothing horrible, it looks like. I mean, although he did grab him by his foot a few times, just dragged him around like a rag doll, and surprisingly, I guess he didn't hit his head too hard when he was being dragged, but he was being dragged in the water, it looks like. No, the event ain't funny. It's but anyways, the sad part is they decided to shoot the gorilla because they couldn't guarantee what the effects would be to tranquilize him. The tranquilizers take a few minutes, run through his bloodstream and knock him out. And then plus his initial reaction to the shot, he might do something foolish like throw the baby up or smash him or trample over him or something in the midst of the initial shot from the tranquilizers. So they decided it was deemer to save the kid versus the gorilla. And there's a lot of people that are outraged. There's a lot of people saying, oh, parents should be charged with the crime because they lost sight of their kid. They're being charged with neglect or abandonment or some bullcrap. And I just want to say to those people, what are you, fucking nuts? What the fuck are you gonna do? Every parent has at least lost a sight of their kid at least once during their toddler years. Between like 0 and 10, I can guarantee every parent at least at one time has lost a kid for a few minutes. How the hell could you take the tragedy and want to punish the mother because she lost sight for a few seconds? I mean, even the bestest parents has never successfully kept 100% eye on their kids. It's physically impossible. I mean, and if she's got other kids that are older than a 3-year-old, then obviously she's been doing something right because she's never had a major disaster like this till now, if she does have other kids. I mean, to sit there and say that the mother needs to be charged, the mother should have been shot, it's not the gorilla, and it's bullcrap. Everybody knows toddlers, 3, 4, 5 years old, when they get something in their mind, 9 times out of 10, they're going to wait and watch for the opportunity when the mother looks away for a second to do something else or talk to another kid or something, and then that's when the kid's going to screw. Heck, I know I managed when I was in foster care and with my mom. I remember cases where I managed to get away from my mom, and she didn't find me for like a half an hour later. And then the other thing that I thought was stupid is there was this message, I don't remember if it was Facebook or Twitter or something, that somebody compared leaving a kid in a car and a mother goes to jail for that to being the same thing as a kid escaping mother's custody and running to a gorilla enclosure and falling into it as the same thing. Listen, folks, there's two different things here. These cannot be compared. These are apples and oranges. I mean, for one, the mother in a hot car situation, the parent or whoever is watching the kid left the kid in a hot car. Left. And yes, they purposely took their eyes off their kid to go do something. This is a mother who lost sight of their kid for a minute because the kid was probably rambunctious or was really good at waiting for perfect timing to skedaddle. He wanted to go play in the water or see the gorilla up close and personal, not understanding how bad it was, and I guess the mother couldn't get that through his head how bad it was. How about an idea? And I made his way do in a minute. His mother was looking away or something. And then I guess the kid fell in the enclosure. Now, there's no way in heck that can be comparable to a parent that purposely leaves their kid in a hot car. That is the stupidest comparison that I've ever heard of. I mean, heck, for that case, from now on, for the people that have missing kids, they should all be locked up too because their kids came up missing. They took their eyes off the kids for a minute. So let's lock them up. Hey, wait. Now, let's not stop there. What about the kids that broke their arms or legs? Let's lock up all those parents too. Come on, if we're going to compare to a mother leaving a kid in a hot car to a kid escaping the mother's line of sight for a couple of minutes and breaking into the gorilla enclosure, then I'm sure he probably understands somewhat he wasn't supposed to but didn't care. Come on, let's not stop there. Everything a kid does that he shouldn't do that causes any kind of trouble, let's just lock up the parents. Obviously, every parent is irresponsible. Obviously. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? Come on. Let's not stop there. What else can we think of? Heck, a kid steals a candy bar from a store and they don't find out till they're out the door. The mother should be locked up then, right? Come on, it's the same thing. Parents lost sight of the kid for a minute while they stole the candy bar from a store. What's the difference? Okay, obviously all that was just a joke. I was trying to get a point across. I mean, comparing a kid that escaped their mom's line of sight for a couple of minutes and made it into a dangerous enclosure to a parent that leaves their kid in a hot car purposely to go inside and shop or buy something or talk to someone. Those are not comparable stories. So the people or person, I only saw it once. I don't know if anybody else agreed with it or how many likes it got. But if you did, you're friggin' idiots, okay? That's not a comparable story. Now, stuff does happen all the time to kids. The parents shouldn't be charged, but I think if anything, they should be held liable for the cost to kill that gorilla, the cost for his burial services or whatever they did to him, and the cost to get a replacement. And the cost probably would be high because it's an endangered gorilla. But whatever it takes for them to get a hold of another gorilla, they could make the parents do that because, yes, I do agree it was their fault that they lost sight. Couldn't have been helped because, like I said, everybody has lost a kid at one time or another, whether it be for 30 seconds or a minute or two, but unfortunately that stuff's inedible unless you put your kid on a freaking leash like a dog. And then what? The kid's gonna be like a dog and shoot through that leash, right? Yeah. So people, back off the parents, back off the guy that did kill the gorilla, because common sense, you can't foretell what the gorilla was gonna do. You can't tell the gorilla was gonna snap if he would have got a tranquilizer dart in him. You just don't know. And plus, the way that gorilla already dragged that kid around a couple times, there's no way to know for sure if the kid had already sustained any injuries. Like maybe he could have smashed his head on the ground as the gorilla was dragging him across like a rag doll. So why people are getting so tissy, I mean, now the only thing the park needs to do is they need to make harder to climb enclosure protectors. I mean, yeah, so it's a tough battle, but they chose humanity over a gorilla, and yeah. I mean, I'm sure the mother feels bad and all that stuff, and is glad, and yeah. But that's the only thing I can see is the zoo should be able to legally charge them for the money, the cost to replace the gorilla, and the cost for putting it down and all that good stuff. But other than that, I mean, like I said a little minute ago in my little rant, you cannot, if you're going to charge a mother because the kid escaped for a couple minutes and got himself in dangerous grounds, then every parent from now on needs to be charged for when they lose sight of the kid for a minute and their kid breaks their arm, or their kid runs in the road, or the kid steals something, or the kid yeah. There's a million things us kids used to do. And if you don't have a kid yet, I can guarantee if you thought back hard enough to when you were a little kid, you can probably remember an incident or two where you friggin' snuck away from your parent, whoever's watching you, even though you knew you weren't supposed to because there's something you really, really wanted to do, and you knew no way in hell that your parents were going to let you do it or take you to go do it. So you waited for that perfect right opportunity to sneak and go bye-bye. And you got grounded for it when they finally found you 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour later, depending on what you were doing and where you were going and how good you were at, hiding to do what you want to do. But yeah. So yeah, it's unfortunate we lost the gorilla, but yeah, the kid was saved and it's a wrap. Nothing else being done. They made the right choices. Everybody needs to lay off the mother and freaking calling child services, because I mean, yeah, there's nothing else you could do, people. It's done. It's over with. It's in the past. And the most that should happen to that mother is they gotta figure a way to pay the bill for the replacement. And then the zoo's got to build a better enclosure that kids can't climb for to prevent future incidences like this ever happening. All zoos all over probably going to be looking at their enclosure now and thinking, can a 3-year-old climb this? Yeah. But yeah, that's all I had to say in this update. Thanks for tuning in to the Don Johnson News Show. Leave any comments, questions, concerns, and I'll be glad to hit you back. And stay tuned for the next story that I feel is worth commenting on.